Hi, I'm Glenn Kern with Bago Ice Fishing Tournament 2016. We're coming to you on Tuesday here. We're going to go over some of the ice conditions on the area lakes, go over the landings, different access points to the 3 lakes that are in the tournament, Lake Poygan, Lake Butamore, and Lake Winnebago. First off, we're going to head over to Winnebago and talk to Critter at Critter Sports Shop and go over the ice conditions on Lake Poygan and head over to Nofke's Landing for our first stop. All right, we're at Critters here in Winnebago, Wisconsin, which is just west of Oshkosh, about 15 minutes. This is Critter. I want to talk to us a little about the fishing reports on Lake Poygan, maybe some access points.
We had some great opportunities to catch some fish here this week. We had a lot of white bass come through. Seen some nice walleye spawning starting to come through. Seems like anything with a little gold or orange on it's been really good. Using little Castmasters, Swedish temples, jigging their paws.
Critters in Winnebago here does sell bait, and they are open at what time on Friday?
Open at 5 a.m. both Friday and Saturday. I've got a lot of spikes, red spikes, mixed spikes.
Minnows, other baits here.
Liners, minnows, everything.
Perfect. When the landings here from Critters are west about 7 miles of Winnebago, and at Nofke's Landing, which we'll highlight next. We have the County Landing and then Captain's Cove. We'll stop by all 3 of those today to give you the ice conditions and any other landing reports.
Got some great safe ice, 14 to 16 inches. Any of the water we had melted off about kept away. Makes a little bit more clear water. I think that's why the brighter colors are working better in bait.
All right, we're at stop number 1 of our Bago Ice Fishing Lake Access Tour. We're at Nofke's Landing. This is on Lake Poygan on the south side off of County Road B, about 7 miles west of Winnebago. Today there's a number of trucks out here. However, with warmer weather coming this weekend, we're going to still recommend ATV and foot traffic only. There's 14 to 18 inches of ice out here, and fishing reports have been good, and we'll keep traveling along here on the lake and show you some more access points. As we did last year, we had a map of the areas we'd like you to stay out of. This year we're highly recommending ATV traffic, sleds, or walking out on the lake. We have, and earlier in the video we had other landings on Poygan and Butamore. There's plenty of ice to fish on, plenty of safe ice. We did highlight the areas, the river. There was a lot of people around this area last year. We asked people to stay as far clear of the mouth of the river as you can this year. And then obviously on the south end of the lake here, there's a few thousand sturgeon shanties. So there's a number of holes down there that to stay clear from. So basically people will be fishing as a main lake basin straight out from Merritt if they choose to come off of Merritt Street. And then the bridges, we're going to be moving them north of Merritt here, about a half mile down.
Yeah, about a half mile. And the reason why we're moving the bridges is because we have a double crack out here off of Merritt Street, and with all the vehicle traffic, it might break off, so we're going to move them down where the crack comes together. So hopefully we're trying to keep everybody safe. You can see the green that's the tree lines. The lake is in pretty good condition, but the last week with the warm weather kind of took a little toll, so we're trying to recommend less vehicle travel. If you have ATV, to go out of ATV just to keep the vehicle travel down a little bit.
Speaking of ATV bridges, we're going to have 3 of them out there, Don?
We'll have 3 ATV bridges. one off of Merritt, and probably a couple off from a half-mile north of Merritt Street.
So parking around the Menominee Park will be a premium. There may be some parking opportunities within the soccer field south of the tent. Obviously, the roads around the park are you're able to park there as well. So get here early. If you can wade fish in on Friday, weigh 'em in Friday. Merritt Street is always very busy, so if you can find a different access point, there's plenty of fish on Poigan, Butamore biting. So if you want to avoid some traffic, I would go look at those places for fishing.
And if they're going to park over by the tent in Miller's Bay, there's around 23 inches ice out there. I mean, I recommend if you can find a place to park on the road, park on the road. We don't want a lot of vehicles out there.
And there's no access to Miller's Bay from the North Gap, or especially the South Gap of Monkey Island this year. So please do not come into the park via the lake.
And if you're going to park on the lake, just make sure you keep a couple feet in between each vehicle's 3 to 4 feet instead of parking a foot apart. There's still plenty of ice in there, but we don't know what the weather's going to do Saturday with the warm temperatures.
Yeah, so we'll recommend people not parking on the ice. If need be, find a spot near the park.
And just remember the bridges could change from Friday to Saturday. So if just because you went out on Friday and the bridge is at a point, it could move on Saturday. If ice conditions get worse, and there's a possibility we could pull them, but I'm sure we should be fine right now, especially with the ATV bridges.
So stick to the ATVs, keep your truck on land, and there's plenty of safe ice out there for fishing.